सूर्यवंशी न्यास का ये रश्मि रथ चलता रहेगा। पीढ़ियों के रक्त में इसका सुयश पलता रहेगा। रीति रघुकुल की जिसे शिव से विरासत में मिली हो, आंधियों में वो दिया जलता रहा, जलता रहेगा।
India's most regal lands still reverberate to the gait of the finest steeds, and the hills and lakes still sparkle with the opulence of the age-old darbars. The traditional splendor of Rajasthan's majestic history is still very much alive in the 450-year-old city of lakes, Udaipur. Founded by Maharana Uday Singh in 1553, the epicenter of this beautiful city is a city palace.
जब तक मानवता जिंदा है और जब तक गंगा में पानी है इस भरत भूमि की धरती पर, जब तक कविता की वाणी है तब तक मेवाड़ी गौरव की गाथा दोहराई जाएगी। ये ज्वालाओं से लिखी हुई अविनाशी अमिट रेखा है।
Towering on the banks of the breathtaking Lake Pichola, the city palace in Udaipur has been the residence of the Maharanas of Mewar. The palace of one of the most revered of the Rajput lineages in India. The legends who always stood up to protect the sovereignty and dignity of the land and its people. For over 400 years, 23 generations of the Maharanas have lived and expanded the city palace into an enormous complex of ornamental towers, island palaces, and public and private spaces. As the 76th custodian of the House of Mewar, Shriji Arvind Singh Mewar has worked tirelessly to preserve the living heritage of the palace under the aegis of the Maharana Mewar Charitable Foundation.
The Maharana Mewar Charitable Foundation was set up by my father far back in 1969. He was beginning to feel that there are a lot of responsibilities as a Maharana, as the head of the family, and his social and moral responsibility towards the people of Udaipur were not possible to discharge with the kind of resources that were available to him.
The palace today acts as a canvas on which the architectural and artistic evolution of Mewar has been drawn carefully for the world to see. Chamber after chamber, hall after hall, public spaces to personal areas, their walls and ceilings adorned with incomparable finery, with only one purpose: to mesmerize the senses.
These properties, although very beautiful, have also got many restrictions. They have got architectural restrictions, they have got restrictions as far as the facade is concerned, they have restrictions as far as the interior is concerned. Some of the walls in that place are 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet wide. Now, how do you put in a ducting or an air conditioning in a property which has such load-bearing walls? So we had to have very clever architects and engineers, structural engineers, who could think around these problems and yet come up with something without damaging the original structure, without damaging the look and feel of the palace, and yet make it possible for thousands of people to visit it every day.
The City Palace is a museum within a museum. Specific galleries have been designed in historical chambers to keep alive, share and preserve the magnificence of the living culture of Mewar. Take, for instance, the Silver Gallery. Renowned for the artifacts it holds, ranging from the grand wedding mandap to the royal transport, it is the world's first ever gallery dedicated to silver. Leave behind the glitter and you enter the aptly named Symphony of Music. Here, get engulfed by the traditional notes of these exquisitely crafted musical instruments that were once the personal collection of the Maharanas.
Mewar has been a place, a region where people believe the idea is not to go through life, the idea is to grow through life. And I think music is certainly one such segment which allows you to really grow.
Sculptors have their own pride of place at the divine gesture. Recovered from the environs of the revered Shri Eklingathji temple, the invaluable stone deities and embellishments dating back to the 6th century represent the timeless treasures of Mewar. The painting collection at the City Palace Museum is the nucleus of a genre known as the Mewar School. Collected under the patronage of successive Maharanas of Mewar, these paintings represent an important synthesis of traditions from Rajasthan and beyond.
We are very happy and proud to say that the structure and the places and the museum and the palaces that they're going to be seeing here, the visitors are certainly going to be feeling a sense of soul, a sense which is alive, a sense that they can experience, a sense that they can touch, a sense that they can take back. So it's a living aspect which is the most important and the unique things.
The City Palace is a chest of art. But let's not forget, it is also the residence of powerful princes who had vast armies at their command. Their arsenal, now more ornamental than active, can be viewed at the armory, traditionally named as the Salehkhana Gallery. The City Palace is a museum celebrating a glorious past while looking at the future. Already, a number of artifacts, including the photograph collection, are being archived digitally.
The museum management system is our latest acquisition, and I think we are way ahead of anybody else as far as the implementation of the system is concerned, and on the threshold of just internationally connecting our artifacts with all the other top museums of the world.
As you stroll through the City Palace Museum, taking in all the sights, sounds and wonders of the era of kings and princes, you cannot help but marvel at the fine attention to every detail. This is only possible with the painstaking efforts of not only the custodians of the palace, but a legion of curators, conservationists, consultants, and experts in the field.
It would give me great pleasure if people would realize that the reason to visit Udaipur is just not tourism. It is also a destination where one of the top-class museum is also there, where we reach out and showcase our heritage and our culture.
The City Palace Museum, is not just a celebration of a living heritage. It is an invitation from the House of Mewar to come and be one of them.